who would like to call the next person to give the Goodwill message in the person of Professor Julius A. Okojie, OON, a former Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission from 2006 to 2016. A round of applause, please, as our daddy arrives to the podium. Continue clapping until he arrives here. Professor Okojie, everyone.
President, ma'am. Chris Maiyaki. Let me adopt the existing protocol. Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, furious, loyal, and neutral in the moment? Chris Maiyaki. I have known that man since I got to NUC. We have been to all usual and unusual places together. He also speaks the Ishan dialect, that man. Chris Maiyaki, your body here. On the what? He's fun to work with, no doubt about that. We have been to the most unusual places. Nelson Mandela's house and Bishop Tutu, we were there. We went to Macarthur's grave. We were arguing whether the historian there was a statue or was somebody just standing. Maiyaki has all the details you can think of. And he's known me to my house, and we have had some same history. On one of our trips to Jos, his father was a DO many years ago. He showed me where he had an accident, and that was some sad news. On our way to Rome, some years ago too, not too far from my secondary school, I told Maiyaki where my father had his accident. So we shared some very sad moments in our early lives. But more importantly, Maiyaki is like a son to me. All my children call him their senior fellow. More importantly, I got to NUC and was lucky to be assigned Chris Maiyaki. He's very humble, no doubt about that. Maiyaki is a top civil servant, knowledgeable in all aspects of it. He writes very well too, and speaks. He will come from a lecture and say, "Oga, I should have spoken today." Oh. That's how humble he is. I shouldn't be here talking much about Maiyaki because I know him to his house. When Mommy was ill, my wife, for those 4 years, because she spoke French, in French too, Maiyaki will come like how do I call it now? Stay a while with her, and they speak in French. I don't understand French at all. But I noticed that time Maiyaki came around, Mommy was brighter. So that's how much we have us known ourselves. This morning I was eating some yam, and I said, no, this is not yam from Jos. Maiyaki will bring yam to my house. There's some loaf of bread he buys from H-Medics. And the guy will just go and say, Mr. Maiyaki, I brought some bread. And I'm asking, how can people be this simple and very, I don't understand. Maiyaki is a humble fellow. He also paid for my wife's transportation to Uromi when she passed on. That's how much he attended all my children's wedding. We went to Lubbock together to help a state university establish a university, a governor with a wife. We have traveled the length and breadth of this world you can think of. He's knowledgeable in every subject. He also speaks the Igbo language when he wants to be mischievous. What did I say? He served in the East. You don't know Maiyaki. No, I can't describe him enough. And the reforms that were carried out in NUC, Maiyaki played a very prominent role. We sat down one day and I asked, if there is provision in the act establishing NUC. How come we have no deputy executive secretary? That evening, we developed a memorandum, and I took it to the board. The first deputy executive secretary was appointed. I can recall that on my maiden speech, when I assumed duty here, I told the community here on the podium that some changes and reforms will come about. We rose from 5 departments to 11. And we now have 2 deputy executive secretaries after. More importantly, he was responsible for all the external programs, predominantly black universities in North America, to see how they run their institution. We have been to Arizona online to let people know how open universities are conducted. There's no way we have not been together. If I sit here and I stand here and talk about Maiyaki, I will just be repeating some of what people have said. And there are some that I will also keep to myself, so there will be other occasion for me to get them discussed. Mr. Maiyaki, as you are retiring, you are not tired. I recall in one of my trips, I lost my 2 phones. It was going to be impossible for me to travel because we had some information there. I was arguing with the airline officers. They said, you won't travel today. I said, me, I will travel. I said, if I was being deported, I'm going to my home country. I didn't have to have all the documents. Then 2 young girls approached me. Say, Daddy, I said, who is this? Say, Mayaki's children. I said, so you are the angels that have been waiting for all this one here. He always rescued me. Then, each time we were traveling, he will always be I will be in the business class and he will be in the other class. I said, no, because we had a lot of work to do. The Monday bulletin, most of them were produced on board. And he will also tell me, your friend is there. One day when I go there, I found it was the Sultan of Sokoto. Hey. He will travel around to know those who have traveled with us. That's an ambassador. This is this. He's very educated. So, Maiyaki, I enjoyed working with you. Your reward will come at the appropriate time. And may God bless your family today and forevermore. Thank you and God bless.
A round of applause, please, for Professor Julius A. Okojie. Thank you very much, Prof, for that wonderful remark.